the Continual Story for November 15th in the Salem region.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
It's not letting me record.
Uh-oh. Okay, let me just... Okay. It was a day like any other in Singapore, Montana, until the zombie stripper pirate ninja monkey narcoleptics attacked, totally obliterating everyone that opposed or hadn't managed to catch one asleep. They were headed up by the dreaded Captain Bushodo, a fearsome fiend who wore a large red hat with green plumage. Bushodo was not always a fearsome fiend who wore a large red hat with green plumage. Once upon a time he had been merely a frightening fiend who wore a large hat with red plumage. Bushodo came to the conclusion that fearsomeness was all about green plumage. Ironically, the great green mythological Cucamonga bird dived down from the sky and seized Bushodo, carrying him high up into the stormy and lightning-filled sky. Their fearsome battle lasted the course of 7 days and 7 nights, after which plumage showered down from the sky like downy snowflakes, and Bushodo's endurance was nearly spent. In the haze of exhaustion, the ghost of Obi Ben Dover came to him, proclaiming, "Go seek yourself, and he will give you another plot twist." But he was dead wrong, which he thought was such a strange turn of phrase, since he wasn't really dead for being wrong, or so he hoped. Working under the delusion that he was right because he was a man, he believed that he was always right. Wow. The woman in his life let him believe this and continued running things as usual. But all of the female activity in the well-oiled mechanics of the male-oriented world created a rift in space that grew with each ill-advised female decision. That's right. Nothing too consequential came from their creation of this gift, but something very strange in the form of a large anthropomorphic bunny did emerge from it. Oh my! What the hell? It exclaimed in a fit of confusion, obfuscation, and a bit of constipation. At least I'm not a little love rock. That's somebody's word from your thing, I think.
Probably, it sounds like it.
Lab rock or something. And then a huge toad made a grand entrance and yelled, "What's with all this nature calling? Name calling, sorry. At least we're not leg pulling and then frying them in a tasty butter, lemon garlic sauce with a pinch of cilantro and a large kosher pickle." The frog gulped and positioned all his legs completely under his body. At that moment, the frog felt such a relief, thankful that these Nimrods hadn't taken out massive loans to achieve their dreams of culinary mastery. So instead of eating him, the Nimrods needed a frog sacrifice to please the Nimrod gods. The culinary fiends lit candles in the shape of a pentagram and around the frog. Sorry, this is hard to read. The frog gulped. This might be worse than being an appetizer. They started chanting in gibberish with the frog in the center staring at them. When they all closed their eyes to finish the sacrifice, the frog thought, "Screw this," and he hopped off far enough to be safe, but close enough to see what happened to the Nimrods that were trying to kill him. Nimrods, he reminded himself, only meant Hunter. Hunter? The cartoon character, Bugs Bunny, had used the word so often in his harassing Elmer Fudd that the most people now took the word for a put-down. Nimrods were not fools, but dang evil killers. I'm gonna go with that. But with no one else nearby, isolated in the middle of a wilderness with only the horde of Nimrods hunting him down, there was only one thing left to do. Dangerous, possibly deadly, but he had no other choice. From his coat pocket he drew out a roll of duct tape, a can of WD-40, and a bacon sandwich. The hunters on his tail were about to get what was coming to them. A swift kick in the pants. How about not? But if we don't invade the Lollipop Guild's secret base, then the Keebler Elves will take our land and land of hackles and the barn and burn down the gumdrop forest. So we retrieve our magical swords from the cave down on. You people have horrible handwriting. Don our chainmail, kiss our loved ones, and head off to invade the Lollipop Fiend's secret bases. They will never know it's us if we go in disguise. Let's see how far we can get into their base without them knowing that we are present. So Jack the assassin, Jane the sniper, and John the cook started into the compound. Everything went well until John smelled bacon cooking and wondered if they had a good method for keeping the bread in a BLT from getting soggy. Jack and Jane tried to stop him, but the desire for a perfect BLT ruled his mind. Jack and Jane were too late. He ate the BLT and was killed by PETA shortly thereafter. Jane rose from the dead to seek her vengeance upon all the living, and she went, I think was supposed to be there, went to PETA first. They refused to help her, and which made her desire vengeance even more, and so she decided to fight them. The epic fight then ensued. Everyone participating drew lightsabers and took up the stances. She fought her way through the crowd of undead ninja pirates, taking them down one by one with her lightsaber as though they were droids under the power of the Sith. Die! She shouted. Then fought until they were all dead. Finally, she was the last one alive. She would be allowed. She would be allowed something her price. The Candy Mountain. And there she lived with a unicorn named Charlie until the end of time, the end.